I got to do a reading for a childhood friend of mine. We got together about, oh, I don't know, 8, 10 years ago. I have not kept in touch with friends from, geez, we knew each other at least in junior high school, throughout high school. She lived about 2 miles from me growing up. And so this is one of those people that I knew really well from being little. And to catch up with each other years later, and she knew I had been a Navy commander, to share my new work. Well, now I talk to dead people. I'm a medium and all that. That was very unusual, but spirit is wonderful because anybody that I knew before in the military or a few people from my childhood that have found out about this are very intrigued. And don't we all have our NOEs, our no other explanation moments? Well, I met her parents because they were full timing in an RV at the same time that Ty and I were half the year in an RV. We met them on the road and got to spend one evening with my classmates' parents. Well, then her dad got sick and he passed 9 months ago. And at that time, it turns out that my childhood friend's mother, I'm not sharing names on purpose. I don't want to go down that route, but I know she actually has been attending the monthly connections for a long time. So not my childhood friend, her mom, who I believe is in her 80s, right? Loves the monthly connection. She's part of the Awakened Way group, which just amazes me, something that I grew up with and how the web works and brings us all together. Well, after her husband passed, she reached out to me and said it would mean the world to me to connect with him. And I said, well, let's give him a chance to adjust to his new way of communicating. Just give him a few months. And I lost track of time. And she just reached out about, oh, I don't know, less than 2 weeks ago. And I know I apologize to anybody who's been on the waiting list, but I know y'all can understand that a childhood friend, we're just going to do those favors, those kind of things. And she said, it's been 9 months. And I said, well, that's plenty of time for him to learn the ropes. Let's get him. So I wanted to make the point for all of us here. Never assume you know everything about anybody, but do state when you begin a connection what you do know and make the point that anything that comes through is going to be from the person in spirit, now that I've shared what I know. So a lot of people say, I don't want to do readings for friends and family because I know all about them. Heck no, man. I've done readings for my own parents and found out things I didn't know about them. So in this case, I stated up front, well, I did have that one evening with him in the RV, and I remember a bit of his personality, but I didn't get to know him too well. And it was really funny because the reading was really for his wife, but I said, if you want your daughter, my childhood friend, to be on screen in Zoom, that's okay. So they were both on screen, and my childhood friend's grown daughter, who, by the way, has sensed her grandfather since he passed. She said senses him very clearly. He talks to her. So here comes Suzanne's ego voice again saying, uh-oh, I hope I get him more clearly or as clearly as she does. And right away saying, thank you very much, ego, go sit in the corner, right? We're just going to let spirit do its thing. It's let him speak for himself, and who cares who connects with him better. I just want you to recognize that when we're aware of these very human thoughts that come up, that's just your left brain doing what it does. You nod to it and say, I acknowledge you, but that's not helpful. So we're just going to get into soul awareness and let spirit do their thing. So we had a beautiful, beautiful connection and lots of gold nuggets, things I didn't know. Her dad all of a sudden showed me that he enjoyed bluegrass music. It's a kind of folk music for those of you who are not familiar with it. And he showed me people in the family playing banjo and mandolin and guitar. And indeed, my childhood friend and her daughter, mandolin and banjo. And he loved bluegrass music. So that's a really nice gold nugget there. There were a lot of them. He had shown up to me the day before the reading, showing me that he used to really take great care in his children's. And he showed me there were, one other brother, one other sister, and I didn't remember that. But he used to take great care about helping them with their schoolwork. And I had been thinking about how my parents, neither one of them had a college degree, and they really didn't know how to tutor me in math and didn't know how to gently push me And so my childhood friend was always really good in math, and I always felt inferior when it came to math. And it came out in that reading that he would sit with her and tutor her in math. And she shared a beautiful moment with me to validate that. But I loved how he came in the day before walking with me on a hike. So do know that any of you mediums, when you set up a reading, they know about it days in advance, even if you don't, because they are setups, and they start filling your heads with things that will then come out when you do the actual reading. Just for fun, you can imagine, put yourself in my shoes, how funny it was when my childhood friend said, Suzanne, I just started a new job recently, and I made a good friend at work, and we were discussing and our likes and dislikes, and discovered that we both are on a spiritual path. And somehow your name came up, and it came up that we went to school together. And she said, my new friend at work said, you know Suzanne Giesemann? That just cracked me up because, you know, with your childhood friends or with all of you, I'm just me. But that's a beautiful testament to the fact that more people are getting to know the awakened way. And that's what matters the most.